What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kung Fu Eddie, baby, one half of the average eight, and I'm here with who?
Front row feel, baby.
And together we are doing our average wrestling talk, baby. Before I ask the average question of the week, how are you doing?
It's one of those days, man. It's almost over, so we're halfway there. Weekend's right around the corner.
Weekend's right around the corner. So let's start off with the average question of the week. If you get struck by a woman and she's multiply, how many times is she striking you before you call your wife and ask for backup?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't
I,
know.
I try. I try. So it's like how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? But in your cases, how many licks does it take till you get your Mrs. Phil to swing a pop?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's okay. I'll play the Jeopardy music.
You know what? I don't. So at what point do you just cry uncle and ask for help?
Yeah, for an average person, it should take no more than less than 24 hours. But for CM Punk's case, it takes a Friday night SmackDown to call his lovely wife AJ Lee to say, "Uncle, help! I got an Irish woman going crazy." So AJ Lee is back. She is shredded as ever. I'm so jealous of her abs. Hashtag AJ's abs. How do you feel? Even though we already kind of mentioned it earlier, last episode, that we could care less about AJ Lee coming back, but now that she's officially here, do your feelings still stand? That it's like, whatever.
It is whatever. I mean, like this is a woman that hasn't wrestled in what? How many years?
10, because everybody
Yeah.
reminds us that.
Yep. So
And
do I think there's going to be interesting storylines? Absolutely. I think she's a great character. Can she still wrestle? That's the
there you
question.
go. That is the perfect segue to my next question. Is that when will wrestling fans realize that their nostalgia drug does not hit the same as they once did? Because again, I feel like everybody is happy that AJ Lee's back. I'm happy AJ Lee's back. But I know the reality when it comes to wrestling fans, because a bunch of wrestling fans were pulling out cage matches stats in order to justify why AJ Lee's return is horrible. And I'm like, are you serious using cage match as your source of your argument? To me, that's insane. It's like you have no life, bro. Speaking of guy that has no life, please like and subscribe to this podcast, y'all. With that being said, it is officially announced that the couples in Arms of Battle are going to face each other at WrestlePalooza, which again the name sounds very weird. It sounds very 90s. So who do you think is going to take that victory? Is it the Mrs. Rollins or the Mrs. Punks?
I think to get the ball rolling, it has to be the Punks, right?
I mean, naturally.
I think it only makes sense. So yeah.
So recording on a Thursday and Monday Night Raw, we saw that AJ Lee still has the IC belt. Do you think that there's an opportunity for her to fight for that belt, or do you think she's just story driven character?
No, I don't know how long her contract is, but I
It's
do.
a multi-year contract according to the insiders.
Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, I see her getting the belt.
I do see her winning the belt as well. I just, like I said, I'm just afraid of the weirdos, as she eloquently claims them to be, the weirdos. Just decide not to love her anymore and get tired of her, like the way they did to Nikki Bella, like the way they did to CM Punk to a certain extent. Like the more they ask for like this nostalgia characters, the more they realize that maybe I chewed more than I could bite. So in my opinion, as much as everybody loves AJ Lee, and I like truly say I was once a fan of hers, I just feel like she's better off as a retired wrestling, persona than somebody that's going to be active and then people are going to shit on her because she cannot wrestle. That's my biggest worry, if I make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with these kind of things, only time will tell, right? We both agree with that. So only time will tell on this. So we'll see.
Because again, like her abs, have you seen her abs? It's shredded. Those are some shredded abs, bro. I could shred my Salvadorian queso in those abs.
Your Salvadorian queso in those abs. Okay.
Yeah, man, because Salvadorian cheese is like bricks. Come in bricks, son. Anyway, speaking of bricks, replace that I with an O because Brock is also back as well. But because WWE are evil geniuses, nobody's talking about him because of the AJ Lee return. But now that Brock is back, how do you truly feel about Brock being back?
Supposedly he signed a multi-year deal too.
Mm.
So
What's his? You think it's multi-year, but he shows up multi-days?
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell, right?
Again, we have to be patient to see what's gonna happen. But in all reality, I honestly could care less. And John Cena is such a political person that he everything that you ask him that's like pretty like hard hitting questions, he answers like very soft, calm, and very like politically correct answers. So he knows that this wasn't his idea. Brock Lesnar was not part of his retirement plan, but here we are. We're back into that 2012 Suplex City, bitch.
Yeah.
Speaking of Suplex City, bitch, we're gonna go to the other town, which is AEW, which they're also cooking as well for All Out. I saw a little bit of bits and pieces of AEW Dynamite. Tony Storm deserves not only an Emmy, a Golden Globe, Tony Award, Latin Grammy Award, because that woman is like phenomenal with her work, especially after her Philadelphia street fight in the ECW arena, in the best place to have it with Sky Blue. Did you see any of that?
I saw bits and pieces of the highlights, but I wasn't like, I mean, I saw the staple gun to the boobs and the staple gun to the
To the
private parts.
cheeks.
You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely extreme, but like I said, like Tony, you cannot argue that Tony Storm is not the greatest thing that's happening to AEW, both men and the women's side.
Yeah, she's super over. And
Which
she's making that character become literally $1 million character. So good for her.
and again, Tony Khan, it's okay for women to main event your pay per views. Just FYI, buddy. So another,
Wait. Where are you going with this? But she's
I
got to have somebody to main event with.
I mean, you got an amazing talent of women in there. I mean, as much as I don't really care for Mercedes Monet, she's still a great wrestler. She's a phenomenal athlete. You got freaking Jamie Hayter that's back. You got Tekla. I mean, they're gonna have a fatal four way at the All Out. I think it's Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, Tony Storm, and Tekla. So they're gonna do a fatal four way for the belt in All Out. So again, like I would much love to see that the women main event that pay per view, but it's not my show, not my call. Who am I to say? I'm just a fan. But speaking of fan, I finally am a fan of Daniel Garcia because he turned heel and joined the Death Riders. Did you see any of that?
I did not. This is the first I'm actually hearing of that.
Yeah, so months, well, maybe weeks of the Death Riders whispering to his ear. Not only his ear, he be Daniel Garcia, pronouns pal. They're also whispering to Chris Statlander of people to try to join the Death Riders. And they're also whispering to the Young Bucks. So they're trying to recruit their numbers into try to control AEW the way John Moxley wants it. But the first one that turned was Daniel Garcia. So Daniel Garcia is part of the Death Riders. I think he took out. Guys, I forgot. I forgot who he took out. But yeah, he started beating them up, and then he joined the Death Riders. So, how do you feel about that? Even though like you didn't see the whole thing.
I honestly, in the beginning, when Daniel Bryan was creating his faction, I always thought that Daniel Garcia was a better fit than Yuta. So, yeah, I mean, it's inevitable. It's about time. So,
So with Dan Garcia being part of the Death Riders, do you think they're just going to grow in numbers, or they're going to take out Yuta out of the equation, or they won't even bring back Pac to join?
I think Pac is done. So I think now you have to build youth, and you have two guys that actually could probably tag with each other and possibly be tag team champions, or put in, a Cesaro type character, and have them go after the three-way belt, three
The three
championship belt,
trios, yeah.
the trios belt. So yeah, there's a lot more versatility you can do with that, and the young guys need to work. Young guys need experience. You don't need the old guys to carry the boat anymore. So at this point, you make those guys work. And I mean, Yuta has improved as a worker. I don't like.
Not only, oh no, I believe the opposite. I knew Yuta was good, but I feel like I appreciate more his character development though.
Really.
I honestly like the shaggy hair. I'm a doofus, but I take all the hits, but I come back for more. I really there's an art to it, so I really like that character out of the whole like Death Riders, and I'm a big fan of Claudio. John Moxley's a badass. Marina Shafir, she's like really cool, but like Yuta is definitely on top of my list of the Death Riders. I just think it's like very goofy character that works, in my opinion. That's what I'm
I
trying to come.
guess, but I'm just trying to see where's the long term value in that. Where do you build that character to the next level? You know what I mean?
I mean, there is no next level because you have such a juggernaut character with John Moxley. Oh, I just remember they beat up Darby Allen. I just had a brain fart. Thank you. So yeah, they were beating up Darby Allen because Darby Allen's mission is to end the Death Riders, but then with Dan Garcia being part of it, so yeah. So there you go. I remembered. So yeah, it was Darby Allen. They were beating up Darby Allen. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, with high characters like John Moxley, Claudio, I mean, even Gabe Kidd is such a wild character. I mean, Yuta's place is the third and fourth sibling out of like the older brothers that are gonna be more popular than him. But will he get up there? Yeah, like yeah, as long as he puts at least 20 pounds of muscle in him, maybe he'll be a main eventer.
Mm.
But who am I? Because I put 20 pounds of fat than muscle. So who am I? Speaking of who am I, I'm going to be a consumer of one of these pay-per-views, WrestlePalooza or All Out. Which one do you prefer the most by the build-up?
Honestly, I'm not a fan of either. I'm not. I'm not. If I
That's
have
not
to
a
pay for,
that's such a cop out.
no, it's true. If I have to pay, I'm not paying for
I
either.
I understand, but if you had to choose one,
I mean,
look,
honestly,
I got a few minutes. Let me look up the card. You could
yeah, I
think
was gonna say,
about it.
you gotta refresh my memory on. That's what I was gonna say. Honestly, you got to refresh my memory on the card.
All right, let me see. Just talk your
I,
feelings
I
while
do
you're.
know that with WrestlePalooza, your headliner is Brock versus Cena, and you've got the mixed tag team. So those two should sell itself right there, just in those two matches. I honestly cannot, for the life of me, recall what the main event or what the matches are. Well, I do know that it's FTR versus Christian and Edge, but other than that, I think that's the only thing I recall.
All right, so it's easier to go over the WWE matches because it's shorter. So we have Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakir for
That should
the
be good.
vacant Women's World Championship. The
That should be good.
Usos. Oh, thank you. So go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I agree. I think that's a killer match. Those two
That's
women will kill it, literally. They
yeah.
may steal the show, honestly. Those two may
Oh,
steal the show.
100% because looking at the rest of the card is probably they're going to be the work rate match. They're going to be the cage match, 5 stars Dave Meltzer type of match. So they have the Usos versus the Vision, which is Braun and Bronson's for a tag team match, which Jey Uso kind of teased that he's going to turn heel, but knowing the popularity, it's going to be Jimmy turning heel. So that's my opinion.
Okay.
Next match, the mixed couples match, the AJ Lees versus the Lynches. Again, like I said, that's going to be my second least favorite because my least favorite match is going to be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Those are the 4 matches that they announced. And knowing WWE, they're probably going to add 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
So that's that match. Now let's go to All Out. We have Cope and Cage versus FTR. The Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Mercedes Moné versus Riho. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin.
Who are the 3 guys on the Hurt Syndicate?
Oh, I mean, okay, you want me to? Yeah, I thought you knew. It's Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP.
Wait, MVP's wrestling?
MVP never stopped wrestling. He just can't do it long term. He can still rest. He can still go. I mean, he had a match on Dynamite. Jeez, give the man some credit. Just because he can't travel to the UK doesn't mean he can't wrestle.
Okay.
Anyways, that's none of my business. Anyways, Mercedes Moné versus Riho. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. And then to be determined match, which is MJF versus Mark Briscoe. Timeless Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander versus Tekla for the AEW Women's Championship match. This one, I personally believe that this is going to be the match of the evening, other than the Moxley and Darby Allin. Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW World Championship match. And then
I guess I don't see Hangman losing.
Oh, Heyman's not gonna lose, but the performance of both gentlemen are gonna be endless.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anyways, and then one match that is gonna be determined by the end of Collision, I believe, is gonna be a 3-way match for the AEW Unified Championship match, which they have a tournament for, and the competitors are Michael O'Rourke versus Kazuchika Okada versus Tenoshi Takesha versus Anthony Bowens, or Mascara Sagrada or Beast Mortal. So those 6 gentlemen are going to face each other, and the winners of those 3 matches are going to face each other in a 3-way. So the only match that has been announced but doesn't have like a 100% behind it, according to Wikipedia, is the MJF versus Mark Briscoe. So seeing the matchup, which one do you prefer the most?
Honestly, I don't like long, outdrawn pay-per-views. We've had this discussion all the time, no matter how good
However, Tony Khan has moved his pay-per-view to the afternoon again.
Yeah. Well, this is where is All Out this year?
Canada.
It's Arizona, right? Yeah, it's Arizona.
Oh, no, Canada, Toronto.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah. And WrestlePalooza is in Indianapolis.
All right. I don't know. I'm still leaning towards the WWE match, even though from a wrestling standpoint, I could completely see that all out is going to blow it away.
So yeah, I truly believe that the work rate matches is going to be AEW, because the only match that I'm excited for the WrestlePalooza is Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakir. That's the only match I'm excited for. The other matches I could care less. But with with the whole storyline that's happening, I mean, I could see WrestlePalooza probably getting one up on that. But again, when it comes to work rate matches, because again, we're work rate matches, brother. Because remember, cage matches is always right. Um, yeah, AEW is definitely gonna win that. Hey, we're gonna throw balls on the wall. Um, to wrap it up with this whole podcast, which again, I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to let you know that I post, because sometimes I forget to let y'all know I post. With that being said, final question before I start my day or end my day, either or. Is AEW being punked out by WWE because of the time change of their pay-per-views?
Yes, because I think it does impact viewership. But for a company that claims that AEW is not the competition, we all know that they are competition. They're treating it
and
like competition.
and that's the part that is like a double-edged sword, is that there's half of the internet, because again, we're not going to talk about real life stuff because we want to get away from it a little bit. But yeah, yesterday there was a lot of division in the internet, but with that division in the wrestling community is that it, everybody thinks that WWE is such a bully to the point that they punk out AEW. But AEW being punked out, they're doing stuff to please the fans to the point that it's like, okay, we won't compete, but we'll do it at an earlier start time so that if you do decide to watch us, you can spend the rest of your evening doing whatever you want, whether it's watch our competition or live your life with your family. But with WWE, it's like you say they're AEW is not a competition, but here you are trying to book random shows, especially WrestlePalooza, that never existed until y'all decided, like, hey, let's pick out an ECW pay per view and do it on the ESPN premiere just to punk out AEW. So it's like, say you're not a competition without saying you're not a competition. But with AEW overall, their goal is to please the fans. And honestly, I'm gonna be more sports entertained by the All Out pay per view than the WWE, because I feel like they're booking it so last minute, but they're doing heavy hitters though. So when it comes to the pay per view standpoint, I feel like WWE will beat AEW, but by the entertainment standpoint, I believe AEW is going to be more entertaining than WWE. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Again, I know life is hectic right now. My message for you guys is, even though you're listening to this on your phone, I want you to take at least 2 hours to put your phone down and just stare at the wall and just don't look at your phone, guys. Is that fair to say? Just stay away from social media, stay away from all the negativity, no matter what y'all believes in, which if hopefully if y'all follow my page, y'all know my beliefs. But I always try to take at least a second for me to put away my phone and just ignore life for just a few minutes. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening again. Enjoy wrestling.
Enjoy wrestling.